Many people involved in these protests say this is not just about George Floyd. This is about racism and fear that is a part of their daily lives and their children's lives.
And there have been a lot of healthy discussion that have been sparked by these protests, particularly about racism right here in our country against black men. So we asked many people in our community, when was the first time they remember facing racism?
Oh, wow, I was a kid. Probably when I was about 7 years old.
I think my earliest time experiencing it, though, was, and the funny part about it was it wasn't even a Caucasian person, it was Hispanic.
So the examples of it aren't all from childhood, they're happening right now.
First of all, we got to come together as a unity, as peoples. You know what I'm saying? Sit down and talk about the situation and see if we can't come to a legitimate end.
The protests against racial injustice have taken over the plaza for 5 days now. Today will enter our 6th day.
Yeah, KCTV5 Savannah RUDICEL is talking with one of the local leaders of Black Lives Matter. Savannah, what have we seen so far as with these peaceful protests? Are they seeing the same thing?
Yeah, Gina, again, our KCTV5 journalists have been out here every single day, trying to talk to as many people as we can to get a full picture and give everyone a full context of what's going on today. But now this morning, we want to have a little bit more of a longer conversation about this. We're meeting here with a representative of Black Lives Matter Kansas City. We also want to note here before we get started is that we also invited KCPD out to join us this morning as well to talk a little bit more about racial inequality. They said that they couldn't meet with us this morning considering that they've had to work a lot of long nights coming up this week, but they do say that they've been giving us these hourly updates so far, and we just want to note that we invited them to join the conversation, just not happening this morning. But we are joined here with Justice Horn from Black Lives Matter. Justice, thank you again so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. To start with, just to be perfectly clear, can you let us know what exactly are people protesting?
So what we're protesting is initially it started with George Floyd. And not only that, but we've started talking to a lot of community leaders and a lot of those in the community that a lot of this happens right here in our community. So initially it started off with George Floyd, but now it's become, this is happening in our own backyard. And not only that, those that are coming to the protest are seeing that police brutality is happening in our own house as well. So we're protesting for exactly what KCPD is showing us as well.
And what are your thoughts so far about the way that people have shown up? What do you think about what we've seen?
I think it shows the community's behind us, that the community has said enough is enough, and that we haven't moved anywhere from 2015 with the Eric Gardner incident and the Eric Gardner murder, frankly, and that we still have a long way to go. And the whole how we do business for how we are, I mean, this guy, this George Floyd, I mean, even said, "I can't breathe," the same exact words that Eric Gardner said. And it shows that we have a long way to go and that enough is enough.
Enough is enough. We've heard that phrase a lot. You know, we've been talking, a lot of people are very angry too. What do you say also to some of the violence that we've seen, maybe after the sun goes down, after these protests?
I think it shows that a lot of people are angry. A lot of people want to see change in the system. And I personally feel that that's how community is going to unravel. When institutions and departments that are supposed to keep us safe are no longer doing that, that's when people take to the streets. That's just how a society works.
With these institutions, you're talking about, Kansas City government, local government, and Kansas City police. What steps do you want to see officials take and Kansas City police take to move forward from this? What are you hoping changes?
That our police department is locally controlled and that they serve the Kansas City community. I know that this is in the jurisdiction of the state, but this is something that the mayor and the city council can champion and pass a resolution and get behind this. We haven't gotten any clarification from the office or that they support our cause with that. And body cams. This whole premise that we don't have it in the budget or have money out there, Kansas City is a booming and beautiful city. We can find money somewhere.
You say, that they haven't shown that that they're with you, you say, but what do you say too about the Unity March coming up tonight? Do you plan to attend? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we plan to attend, and I hope that it's just not another incident for us to kneel and get pictures. Right now we need our elected officials to actually get behind and do what they're elected to do, serve our community. And I think, yes, it shows unity and solidarity. I think we can all agree that we want change in our community for our community to be safer. But it's not, we want policy change. We want change in our community. And that's not taking a knee or saying I understand. I hope we all understand it's 2020, that people are getting killed on our streets.
And for people who are only seeing these protests on TV, on Twitter, everywhere online, what do you hope that they understand the main message of this protest is?
The main message of this protest, and what I believe protest happens for, is that so policy change come from it, so that our community changes, because I think it's a democratic thing that we all get together, we assemble and show that we want change in our community. Because I personally don't want to do this next month, don't want to do this next year, and I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, protesting police brutality. So I hope with this protest, actual change comes from it, and that we can see a better community for everyone in it.
Justice, is there anything else too that we didn't get to, you wanted to mention?
I just hope that everyone stays safe, everyone stays responsible, and that I know that we will overcome, but we need to change our community.
All right, thank you very much. Again, that was Justice Horn with Black Lives Matter Kansas City. We want to again reiterate too that we invited KCP to join in on this conversation as well, and they weren't able to make it out this morning. They did say last night's demonstrations were some of the calmest that they had, but weren't able to disperse the crowds until about 2 o'clock this morning. Reporting live on the plaza, Savannah RUDICEL, KCTV5 News.
Yeah, such an important conversation that we just had right there on our air, Savannah. Thank you so much for that. It brings context and an opportunity for so many people to learn and hear the way that somebody else is seeing this through their eyes that you may not have, seen with your own. Right,
in an uninterrupted form, not just a little soundbite from somebody. It's nice to hear their perspective.
It helps. All right.